Hey everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful time. Today, I would like to share my experience of using this newly released SMS audio AO200 Mark II. You heard it right, they released AO200 Mark II simultaneously with AL200. The difference is just amplifier section. There is no DAC inside other than USB digital input to connect your smartphones. This one retail for just $249. It looks to me pretty much the same as the previous generation, including the menu system, but remote control, they have a little bit better version of remote control. They have some improvements over previous generation. This one is using MA5332MS Infineon chip, as well as giving you additional feature, which is SDB feature. So that is like a SMS of the house sound signature that they implemented in EQ setting that you can see in the menu. So what it does is it's like something similar to compensation or the loudness kind of setting. If you enable the setting, what it does is upper mid-range and mid-range area and upper bass has a little bit more pronounced and a bit more noticeably a bit forwarder sound and maybe a tad louder as well. So in that frequency range, so more pronounced in that region. So, but most of my listening I went through with pure direct setting feeding from my DAC or any component that I pair with, right? So I compare two different DAC, SMS own SU1 DAC, which retail for $80, and this Matrix Audio Mini i4 Streamer DAC. SU1 have a really good synergy together, analog like sound reproduction together if you pair with SU1. So I think AL200 or this AO200 Mark II with SU1. If I have to choose one, that is a tough choice, but I have to go with AO200 Mark II and SU1 combination. It's going to be a little bit more money, but you are getting a lot more. When I switch over to Matrix Mini i4, soundstage get wider as well as better separation and more air and better bass attack. So that's the AO200 MK2 has the transparent sound signature that it can redeliver the actual sound of parent component, whether your speakers or your DAC. Because I try both of my speakers, it's not on display right now because I'm trying to work on JBL 4305P in the future videos. So I try Musician Night 1 and the CSS2 DDX as I did on AL200 amplifier review. What I really like about this AO200 Mark II is better control on the bass region. It can control and well driven to lowest of the notes that it capable of, and there is not as bad as in limitation as AL200. Even though they are using very same Class D chip, big difference in overall power of the amplifier, although they rated very same power output. I tried all the music back as I did on AL200 and tried on this AO200 MK2, and what I find is AO200 MK2 have a lot of similarities in overall sound signature, but it has better bass control and slightly deeper soundstage and presentation. Then when I switch over to Matrix Mini i4, it's totally improved, and I was almost blown away by the way that it can reproduce the sound. I will not be saying like, lame terms, right? But it's pretty impressive. So because I try not to hype up the product, I just want to share my actual experience. So when I was trying the Matrix Mini i4 and went back to all the music that I tried with AL200, including the Sega track as I did on AL200, it can take me up to 95 dB range using the CSS Audio 2 DTX or Musician Night One, no problem. 95 dB range, my friend. It can go up there. It can well control and retain, but if you want to go up a bit more, it's gonna be stop getting louder. So probably that's depending on speaker pairing and depending on sensitivity of the speakers, as I mentioned before. 95 dB, that's plenty loud for me, and it can still give you very well control, although it's starting to fall off on a higher range of frequencies. It's not as bad as AL200. Power delivery and overall sound quality and price and performance, if I have to choose one, I would definitely go with AL200 Mark II for me personally, because I like the way that it can control a little bit better in lower region, as well as giving me slightly better immediacy and transient response in overall sound reproduction. So those are all the good things over AL200, right? But based on my personal taste and experience, what I would like is a little bit more separation between the notes. I'm not complaining, okay? I'm just explaining to make it better in terms of sound quality out of this amplifier. It can do probably a little bit better separation in mid-range and upper mid-range area, a little bit more sharper voices and vocals, sound reproduction, not to extent of bright and forward sound. A little bit more sharpness in that region will be real nice, and a little bit better airiness in overall the upper range area. Other than that, $249, this is a great buy. I mean, just give it like 2-3 days to settle down and it will totally shine. I mean, I'm pretty diverse in music listening and selection, so I try all my favorite music, the piano tones, and I was listening to Taylor Swift's All Too Well 10 minutes version. That's the one of my favorite songs from Taylor Swift, and the decay and the reverberated tones of a piano notes and everything is well produced. And in her voice, a lot of natural and accurate sound, yet notes are a little bit well rounded. So that's why I want a little bit sharper edges in more pronounced, sharper notes in vocal range. Other than that, I have no complaint. So I'm just stating my experience. I'm not complaining, just to clarify that. Based on the price, based on the performance, and based on sound quality alone, I think this AO200 MK2 is a great buy, because overall driving power and sound quality and everything combined, as good as any $500 range of amplifiers in general in sound quality. And the driving power, that's why I put raw power, because it really shows the way that it can control and driving power that compared to many other under $500 range of amplifier. Most of them don't sound great after 85 dB in general. So this one has a dedicated subwoofer out. Another big plus for this AO200 Mark II is it has proper balance input. So which is 5-volt RMS balance input that they put it together. It just, mind-blowingly reasonably priced. How they will sell this price, right? But they are doing it. I don't know, man. If they keep on doing like this, they have a really great future in terms of product wise, right? Because average people, nobody wants to spend $3,000 or even $1,000 on amplification in general, because many people were priced out by major manufacturers. Many amplifiers under $500 range, so this one is pretty much comparable in terms of sound quality and power delivery in most of them. Probably this will outperform most of them in terms of signal to noise ratio and quietness in background, as well as giving you good driving power, because many of amplifiers in general under $500 range never satisfyingly deliver me sound quality above 85 dB range. But not this one. This one can go up 90 dB range, proper sound quality and sound staging and everything keep intact. But if you only push past 90 dB, it's starting to fall a little bit. But when you reach to 95 dB, it totally shows it reaches the limit. So that's where the major differences and major improvements in terms of sound reproduction. So like I said, if I have to choose one in this price point under $500, no matter what brand in comparison, this is a great buy. Upper range of frequencies are well-rounded and slightly more forgiving kind of a sound reproduction. No harshness or no brightness in overall sound signature in general. It's all depending on the music as well. But based on most of my music listening and pairing with my speakers, I don't experience any major harshness or brightness no matter what music I throw at them. Basically, this is another bargain that SMSA is offering, giving you very good price and performance and sound quality ratio that you can have. So nothing but great experience trying it in my system. So highly recommended, my friend. Thank you very much for watching and happy listening.
Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa, men have named you. You're so like the lady with a mystic smile. Is it only 'cause you're lonely they have blamed you for that Mona Lisa strangeness in her smile? Do you smile to tempt a lover, Mona Lisa? Or is this your way to hide a broken heart? Many dreams have been brought to your doorstep. They just lie there and they die there. Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lonely work of art? Many dreams have been brought to your doorstep, but they just lie there and they die there. Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art? Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art?
Okay.